Are you letting too many projects into your new product pipeline only to risk derailing the ones you already have underway? Hi, everyone. Mike Dalton here with a short video on the impact of letting too much work into execution. So let me tell you about a large energy conversion equipment company I was working with because their new product timelines had ballooned way out beyond 3 years. They had over 50 projects underway with a staff of only 12 engineers. And to quote the company president, everything was moving an inch and nothing was moving a mile, what I call glacial innovation. They initially thought scope creep was the problem until they realized that was only a symptom because the project delays allowed the requirements to change before they could get a stake in the ground, a so-called moving target. And that's because they'd fallen victim to myth number 3, the conventional thinking that you have to work on more to get more done. So let's look at what that myth could be costing you. Oh, and one more thing. If you stick around a few minutes to the end, I've got a free overview of the strategies that can take these myths out of play for you permanently. Here's an example that provides a picture of what was happening for the company I mentioned. Let's say there are 4 projects that need resources, all for important customers. Each project has an influential internal sponsor pushing to start it as soon as possible. And each has the same return, $1 million in cash flow per quarter once the project is complete. Now, for simplicity's sake, let's say that if you put your entire team on one project, they can complete any one of these projects in just 3 months. That means full speed is 3 months per project. Now, back when I was a general manager, I know what I would have done in this situation. I would have Nike'd it. I'd found some way to just do it and ran all 4 at the same time. And if you're being honest with yourself, wouldn't your company do the same thing? But what is that conventional wisdom actually costing us? Well, if we pipeline our projects for full speed and only start one project, it's done in 3 months and starts delivering cash flow much earlier. Then the others followed one at a time, delivering additional cash flow. And because new products are a kind of annuity, that cash flow is cumulative. Now, instead, what happens if we try to run more than one at the same time? We add wait time in order to share all the resources. If we start all 4 projects, we add a lot of wait time. As indicated by all the W's between the colored blocks of work, each project spends the majority of its time waiting for resources as your team moves back and forth, trying to move every project an inch. And notice that none of the projects is delivered for a year, while 3 were delivered much earlier in the pipeline case. What's worse is that the difference is millions of dollars of cash flow that you can never get back. But wait a minute, the picture is even worse than it looks. Conservatively, it'll actually take you 18 months to finish all 4 projects when you're running them at the same time because of the multitasking loss that we saw in the first myth. That means we could get 6 projects done in the same time if we pipelined for full speed. The cash flow difference is stunning. So in addition to the multitasking and procrastination that we saw in the previous videos, we add waiting for resources to the waste that saps your innovation productivity, and more importantly, slows your earnings growth and cash flow. By putting the tools in place to help execute at full speed, we help that company drive its new product time from 36 months down to as low as 10 months. And by moving quickly enough to avoid all that scope creep, they save millions of dollars in outside engineering and certification costs. If you're seeing your new product timeline stretching out further than you're comfortable admitting, don't worry, it's happened to all of us before. And I'll be sharing my strategies for eliminating these myths in coming videos. The same strategies that created that breakthrough down to 10 months. If you're looking for answers sooner, You can get a copy of an article outlining my strategies at guidedinnovation.com/enough, or simply invite me to connect on LinkedIn. If we're already connected, then just message me and I'll be happy to send you a copy. I'd love to hear about your experiences with this myth in the comments below, and of course, likes are always appreciated. See you in the next video when we talk about one of the governance elements necessary to cut these issues off at the roots.